If I'm going to buy meat of any kind as a vegan,
If I'm going to buy meat of any kind as a vegan,
If I'm going to buy meat of any kind as a vegan.
What you just heard was the most idiotic, contradictory, and hypocritical statement ever uttered by a human being. What's the contradiction with being in support of killing carnivorous animals? Humane killing? There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel.
9.9% of their DNA and are technically the same species.
So we're only a couple minutes into her video and she already made a pretty dumb mistake. She doesn't understand the definition of species. Dogs and wolves are, in fact, the same species. They're not technically the same species, they are the same species. She doesn't bother to ensure she's getting her information from scientifically valid sources. You'll notice in that clip she popped a bit of text on screen, but where did that text come from? She deliberately hides her sources of information to make it appear as though it's more scientifically valid and she got this from some kind of study, but in reality, she's just getting this information from random blog articles or online news sources that aren't valid sources of scientific information. And if you use the Google, turns out she got this little snippet from a site called LabRoots, which is just an online scientific news site, but obviously their information isn't the most accurate, and she does this throughout her entire video.
All carnivores, including dogs and cats, also have very short digestive tracts compared to vegetarian animals. They thrive on consuming fresh, living, and whole foods, but not clean foods. But their diet was in fact moisture dense, which means a lot of water. The prey was primarily water, about 70%. It was high in protein and minerals, and moderate in fat, and very low carbohydrate.
So Rayleigh played a clip of this orange woman in her video, and again, this is not a valid source of scientific information. This is not a journal article, it's not a study, it's just some random person you found online spouting nonsense. So Destiny, notice how this isn't about you proving that these numbers don't mean anything. This is about you saying we should listen to the researchers who wrote this. So basically you're just making an appeal to authority.
First of all, an appeal to authority is not a logical fallacy. A fallacious appeal to authority would be a logical fallacy. I am going to appeal to the authors of the study about the content of said study. I don't believe it's fallacious to do that, especially when every author that worked on this study is going to be more qualified than you or me to do basic statistic interpretation. The fact that this is not only peer-reviewed and published, the fact that the very results in both the abstract and results section disagree with your conclusion makes me highly suspect that your interpretation is probably a little bit biased.
Okay, Destiny, this sort of thing happens all the time, okay? Researchers, authors can make mistakes.
And it got past peer review and everything. This is an actual published thing that's been followed for decades.
So yeah, Destiny, there are plenty of mistakes that are published in research all the time. Is it true you told a 16-year-old that you wish you could slowly squeeze the air out of you while watching tears roll down your face until your eyes roll back into the back of your head? Yes. If anyone wants to come in on Discord and debate whether or not that person deserves to live, I'd be more than happy to. I don't know why that is an issue for me to say that. Murder is inherently cruel.